So welcome everyone, KD here, and this is stream number 30. Sorry about that. I'm sorry I'm really late today. I will tell you why in a moment. Last week I finished the sandworm here. Finish is not the right word. He needs still a lot of work. But the base model is there, base textures are there, quite some things I want to change. The animation is definitely not anything I will use, it's just to show how we can move. Yeah, I have to think about the tongue, how it falls. Probably if I I have to bring the tongue definitely back further, further to the back, further to the back, so you don't see it falls in the mouth. So it's in the dark. That's one thing. Then it probably has to kind of fold out faster and things like that. I have to think about the mouth itself, the lips, and things like that. Yeah. I mean, right now the mouth is just open. I would like that it maybe not closes, but it can at least move a little bit together and so on. And I'm not sure how I want to do that. Now I kind of understand the design of some sandworm I have seen in Google that uses multiple lips, like three lips that can clap together and things like that. So I have to think about that. But yeah, and I have to think about some movements of the feelers and things like and other things. But yeah, let's say it's a good start. But these are small adjustments I will do in probably smaller streams over the next weeks. Small streams I will test if I want to put them, if I will use them as also for my channel. I kind of like the ideas. The smaller streams will be not scheduled. They will be random is maybe the wrong word because I still have to make preparations for them and so on. But yeah, I won't schedule them with a time and day or something like that. I will just hey, I have prepared that and I have now time for an hour or so, and now so I will just do a stream, and so on. And you can pop in if you have time and so on, and ask questions and so on. Yeah, so and I will see you, like I said, over the next weeks. Probably mostly from next week on, and absolutely after Christmas. I mean, Christmas New Year is kind of difficult to keep the schedule as it is right now. So it's good time to test different things, and then we will see next year. I will then tell how I will handle streams from now on. Anyway, so the sandworm is not really the thing we want to do today. So Let's go back here to Unreal Engine, and I just see something I have to change here, of course, in Unreal Engine. Sorry about that. Let's see, yeah. So today we want to do the combat animation, default combat, setting up the combat more with attributes and so on. And what we did so far is we kind of made the chain of events for a player attack. We have this timer, or how I call it, reaction time. You have to wait until you can do something. Then you can press on ready. This widget comes up with the different options. So I'm back to less detailed. I put my engine preferences down a little bit so the work is smoother absolutely with Streamlabs. That's why you don't see the text very well. That's kind of a problem I found out with the widgets that are connected to characters. These widgets, they are rendered into they're rendered into the game, and so the resolution and so on, if you don't have higher options, you get this bad results you see here. You don't have this problem with widgets you put directly on the viewport, but that's okay. I mean, this is not the resolution I will then put out the game. This is just really for working in the engine that I not need so many resources, so don't worry about that. Anyway, this widget comes up. We have our basic attacks here. Short range, mid-range, long-ranged, special skills, tech, weapons, or we can choose to do items. I only have so far added the short attacks, and then this will be the attack types, probably a little bit better names for the category of your attacks. And when we attack, so I changed this here. The widget for hit points, I said last time I found it too massive, the whole thing, so I took only the corners, and I'm not sure yet if this is the final thing. I will use this for now. It looks better than the other one, I believe. So then you have to select your guy, your enemy you want to attack, and then you have to select the hit points. So maybe what I will do is kind of making a cross in the center. Yeah. I also have to see about the colors. Maybe the colors a little bit brighter. Now the red. The red you almost don't see it, but that's okay. I think when you attack, your camera changes again. You will see the back of your player, and then your player will do his attack. So he won't stand still like we had now, because right now we don't have animations. So So probably not right now. The camera is anyway not or connected on the wrong place, so we will follow the character, and then we go back to our side view, and then we have to wait until our guy is ready. Of course, this is first only. Not, I mean, so far nothing happens. We don't really harm him. We don't do damage or anything like that to the enemy. Um, so yeah, that's all. We just made this kind of attack cycle, what you have to select and so on. And yeah, today I wanted to go further with that. I'm so sorry. Um, I really want to go further with that. And so I want to add the different attributes, and I want to not only for the player, also for the enemy. I want to create the turn cycle for the enemy too, with a reaction time and everything like that. And then the goal is to simulate different aspects of combat. Um, to see how the mechanics should be, how they work, how they feel like, and as soon as I'm happy with it, we will expand the combat to multiple characters and so on, and then see how this works. And when we are finished with that, we I mean, when it feels right, the combat with multiple characters and so on, then we really made a big step in the testing, because the combat is definitely one of the biggest mechanics of the game. It is also strongly connected with the progression systems of the characters, what is another very big part of the mechanics. And we definitely need the combat system to work from the beginning. I mean, animations, 3D models, and so on, they can still be added later. That doesn't matter too much, but at least the core mechanics, they have to work. So this is kind of important here. I now open the save to slot blueprint. I have to add a lot of variables what may not be so interesting, so I will start now while I can talk. Save a little bit time, because like I said, I'm running late today. And yeah, I'm really sorry about that. The problem is a little bit Christmas is coming. There's just a lot of work I have to do. I was hoping I can finish most of it on the weekend. I didn't manage to do everything. That's also why I couldn't. I want to do some more. I wanted to do some more. Can I say it? One moment. I have to put my picture on. I have to look up something. Um, Yeah, sorry about sometimes I stop my own thoughts with something else I have to think about. Anyway, yeah, so I couldn't finish over the weekend what I wanted to do, so we had to do big parts today, and then I did a lot overnight also, and then I fell asleep and I woke up a little bit late for the stream. I had to set up everything, what always takes some time. And yeah, so I still haven't wrapped up, but I want to wrap up, so so like I said, I want to do really to do yeah. Yeah, I mixed the names up of my own protagonists. Anyway, that's not a problem. Big problem. So let me get you back. Anyway, so I have still a lot of a lot of tutorials and so on planned for the near future. For the near future, I of course want to finally do the part 3 for my save and load tutorial, where I show you some examples how you can use everything, and I also want to do a tutorial about what we saw in the combat, the whole widgets on that are connected with a player character, because there are some steps you have to do until it works. If you watch the live stream where I tested it, you see that I have had to go with a couple of things until it really worked. Yeah, that's it. And then I this was not something I did in a live stream, but I was testing not so long ago, and I had really trouble with it, absolutely, because I couldn't find a lot of documentations or tutorials about it, at least not how I wanted to do it, and so I had the feeling I have to make wouldn't be bad to have a tutorial about that. It's maybe not something that is used so much, that's probably why we don't have a lot of energy. Oh man, no, it doesn't look right. Yeah, English, very difficult. But maybe some people are interested when I do something, and that's how to render your 3D objects you have in the game, how to render them on a 2D image, and then use this image on a widget or something like that. For what you can can use that for different things. Mostly for a menu, maybe a customization menu that previews the objects you want to equip and things like that, or how they already look when they are equipped without affecting your how your real character looks like and things like that. So it's something that I maybe will use in my game. So I'm not too sure yet. I kind of want to make this previews because I have a crafting system in my game, and then you kind of see what you can craft and so on, and some information, so you see a preview already before you craft something, and things like that. And I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do it. There are two different things, two different ways I'm thinking about. One is the one I just explained to you, to render a 3D object, making an image and putting it as a widget. So now I have to think about. Yeah. I'm definitely forgetting something, but let's start with the attributes. Here, there are quite a lot. Where was I? Luckily, I wrote everything down. Speed, agility. Where was I? Yeah, so one is really rendering the 3D to 2D. That's one thing. The other thing is just really use agility. Yeah, I'm not sure if you write it like this. It's okay for now. And the second way is really to do it in 3D, animate it, maybe make it different actor and different player character, where you can animate it, different things. I kind of have an idea that I don't know I can pull it off, to be honest. With moving cameras and everything like that, that would be extremely cool. But yeah, like I said, if I really can pull it off like I want to. Dexterity. If I can really pull it off like I want, like I imagine it, that's that's another question. I believe like this. So I have to see. I mean, both things have of course advantages and disadvantages. I forgot immediately what I posture composure. What I want to write. So I mean, 3D really animated and with camera movements, camera changing between objects and so on. That would be extremely cool. Would of course take more time. The thing with the 2D is it takes a moment for setting it up. It's not as easy. There are some small things you have to think about, and that's why, or some small things that could be a problem. That's why I want to do a tutorial to explain these things. But I mean, it's a way to do different stuff. You can also put it actually on a 3D object as a texture on a 3D object that is in the game. That's also possible. You can, and with that you can kind of simulate something like a television or anything like that. You see a picture on a television or anything like that, so that you can do quite cool things with this 2D rendering. So I think it's definitely interesting, and some people may want to use it for the project or think about using it or for their project. So that could be for sure interesting tutorial. But like I said, it takes, you have to, it's quite not complicated is maybe not the right word, but you have to think about different things that may not be so obvious. So obvious from the start, from the get-go, and so on. Tutorial will be definitely helpful there. And the positive thing with that is, as soon as it is set up, as many things, it is set up, and you don't have, and it's then pretty easy to actually use as soon as it is set up. The thing with the thing with the going full 3D and animated and everything like that, like I said already, the setup is almost a smaller problem. You have to do so many things with the animation, with the camera changing and so on, and probably for different objects you need different camera angles and so on, so you can't have a fixed setup. You have to be very dynamic with the setup, and that's always a little bit the problem. Yeah. The second problem will be that I probably have to do this in a separate map, but so I can use a different player character for everything. That would be easy then to set it up with you or with the player character that you use for the world. But that's not a problem, because in the game you can't use the crafting system and so on. At any point there are at any point you want, but there are special places you can do it. So I only have it may not be a big problem to always change the map. I mean, it kind of depends on the loading times and so on, but I see it definitely as a possibility. So this is something I just these two things I just have to test it out a little bit more. I probably will not. My tendency is more to go with the really going 3D animated with changing cameras and so on. Just because it will honestly look better. That's a difficult word. Let me copy paste this. At least for me, it's a difficult word. Yeah. Anyway, but like I said, these are just things I'm thinking about and that need final testing and everything. You know, I should have done something else. That was cut. No. I should have compiled it earlier, so we can. Yeah, I mean I have to anyway adapt the attributes for my character here. But for testing, I want to. Oh, not the HP. Of course. Let's put the HP 200. So you need for the HP a maximum and two values for HP, maximum and flexible one, because the game has to remember what's the maximum hit point value you have. Maybe if you already have taken damage, this will be calculated here in the HP, but while this is maybe on 60, down on 60, the game still has to know what is the maximum. Anyway, reaction time, let's do this for now at 10. This is anyway something we have to calculate with the other attributes. And then the rest, for now I will just use one, and that's why I said I should have compiled this before, because then I just could put in one for the first attribute and then just copy paste it and it would have taken over the number. So you see there are a lot of attributes that play in the combat. Not all attribute will change for all, will change your attack efficiency. Let's say it's called like this, for every attack type. but but every attribute kind of has its own effects and so on, and it will change the combat quite a bit. Depending on which one you concentrate to throw and so on. I may go a little bit more into detail with everything during the stream or during later streams. I honestly don't think we will already simulate today. Wait a moment, luck. Do we want the integer for luck or float? Because luck mostly. No, let's leave it like this for now. Yeah. I mean, it always in my head it's like, it doesn't need a lot to set everything up, but actually when you start to work and you kind of see all the different things you have to set up. I forgot. Again, forgot. I was talking what I wanted to write, and it's control. But it takes quite a lot, absolutely, with so many attributes that play in. So if we set up already everything today, absolutely if we use already our whole attribute is another question. But I will at least put anything I have for now into here. Is genuine or something like genuinity. What's the noun for genuine? Is that the noun? I'm not sure. Also, one moment. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to say how long I will do today. Like I said, I'm a little bit stressed out. Like, a lot of things to do before Christmas. So I may make today a shorter stream. I think it's just better when I'm talking here to just copy paste everything. But I mean, I'm almost done. Yeah, so maybe I will do today a shorter stream so I can go back to finish my other tasks, and when I finished, then I have maybe more time for streaming and creating tutorials and so on. Um, yeah, then maybe I have more time for streaming. Um, the rest of the week. So I'm kind of thinking about that. So just doing today a shorter stream to make first setups. May not be the most interesting stream here I do today. But yeah, things like that just happen. Yeah, let's make a new variable series. Arwin, let's see. Let me think. You have short-range, mid-range, long-range, tech weapon, energy attack. These are now special skills. Special skills. So this will be not EAs, but SS. SRA, MRA, LRA, tech weapon, TWA. That's okay. Okay. So our main character here has a mid-ranged weapon. I will talk about the weapon later on. Absolutely, when we create a 3D model for it. It's kind of special weapon. So yeah, so I will use the shortcuts here. Right now I want to do the attributes for different attacks. I'm kind of wondering how I can name them. What's the best way to name them? So mid-ranged attack. Mid-ranged attack. The other question is, do I want to use arrowing or do I want to use a number? The character number I will use later on, but I don't really know character number right now. Do I want to use 0 for the first one or 1? Yeah, let's use the name for now. I'm a 1. Damage. Just for, yeah, damage. Then MRA1. What else? The rest is hit chance, and that's not integer, that's a float. What I also need is level. And XP. And that remembers me. Oh, I kind of forgot. Do I want to put everything Yeah, let's put everything the same. Arwin attacks. So I will kind of explain a little bit more what all these variables are. But I just remember I need another one here. XP is XP enough? Do we need more? No, I think that's enough. Yeah, I will need some different attributes for statistics and so on. Will be important too, but let's leave it with that for now. Anyway, hit chance, then critical damage and critical chance. I think here I need, because here I will work with level. In the test game I had a quite interesting level up system I kinda wanna use, so I have to, so I need more here. XP, I'm thinking which I needed. I think I need XP next and XP last. That's how I called it. Maybe not too important right now, but I'm not sure if we set this up for the simulation. That's what I mean. If not important right now, or at least for the first simulation process. So, was there something else I need? Yeah, so maybe I will try to explain this a little bit. I think there are other values I need. So the damage, yeah, how much? It's for now 20. I'm not sure. That's definitely something I have to change. Hit change chance. Let's do it for now quite high. I will probably go down with that. Level will be 1 at the beginning. XP 0, that's okay. Critical damage is how much the damage will. Let's make 20% stronger when you do a critical. Maybe I will have. No, I have to do this a little bit higher so we can see that it works. Let's just double it for now, for the simulation. Critical chance is quite low, 10%. Maybe I will do it higher for now, so then with 25, 20, no 20 every 5th attack. That's quite high, but yeah, XP last can leave 0, XP next let's do 5 for that. Yeah, probably we have to simulate this. So the attack damage is just the basic value we have. Into this comes all the player attributes that affect this attack type, plus all the enemy attributes that defend this against this attack type. And then there will be calculated out of that. We calculate a new number, and then we also will have some randomness in it, maybe around probably something like 10% difference, or 10% tolerance, maybe I should say, up and down with just some random generators. So so there is some randomness in the damage you make, so you don't make all the time the exactly same amount of damage. It varies a little bit. So there are a couple of things coming into here. Hit chances, of course, if you miss or hit. Also, this is just a base value. There will come a lot into it. Let's jump over to level. Critical damage is, right now you have 1/5 of a chance to do a critical attack, and critical attacks just do more damage than normal attacks. This is again also true of random chance a little bit. Yeah, things like that. So every attack has a level, and as more as you use, so every time you use an attack, you gain 1 experience point with that attack, and as more as you use that attack, as more experience points you get, and then you level up. You can level up the attack, what will change the base values, make them higher, giving you more damage, giving you better hit chance and things like that. So as more as you use an attack, as better you get in the attack. That's kind of the idea I have here. Also, depending on which attack you level up and which level you reach, you can learn new attack types and so on. So this is kind of part of the progression system. I call it learn and practice, because you have to learn an attribute and then you have to practice the attribute. You can practice it direct in battle. I may give you some opportunities to learn, to gain some experience points outside of combat itself. I'm not too sure how I exactly want to build this up. Yeah, we'll see how it kind of fits into the story. How will this be really like training sessions you can take at certain points in the game or something like that, where you can say, yeah, I want to practice this attack for this character, and then you of course will I mean, this won't be for free, of course, so it may cost energy and other things. Like I said, it's kind of difficult because time is not really a thing in the game itself. I mean, of course, in the story and in the world, but not in the game. You can stay on a field as long as you want and grind, encounter random monsters, as many as you want. The time won't flow there. It will stay here, not still, but you know what I mean. The game, the time in the story just won't pass even if you do hours of grinding and so on. I'm pretty sure I still forgot a lot of stuff here, but maybe we move on. So the experience points for a character is a little bit different. This should be 0, of course. It's a little bit different. You won't gain levels. All the growth you do with characters um, over improving all these attributes here, and I'm not. And this one, we start with one. Probably not with everything for one. Depending on the character, some things are already a little bit high, but I was thinking about, will there be an upper limit? And right now, I'm not sure if there actually will be an upper limit. So this number could really go up to 1000 or something like that. But, of course, for the monsters, it's the same. They also work with these attributes, and that's kind of what we set up. We have to also set up now. I was thinking, where can I do this? And I made last time when we worked in Unreal Engine. To think, where did I put it? This is testing, for sure not there. I have to clean it up. It annoys me so much that here the start content is still there, that I even loaded it in at the beginning. This is our play character, level, enemies, event blueprints. Yeah, I think it's the best thing to do it in here, because in the combat blueprint we will coordinate all the events that happen in the combat. We already put a couple of stuff in here. Reaction time calculator. Just looking what we have here. Player 1 reaction time, widget visibility, hit point visibility. Yeah, this stuff will come back to me soon. Yeah, and I will put here these variables. I won't put it in the save because I don't need the game to remember it. What do I mean with that? I only need the enemy enemy attributes for this one fight. After the fight is finished, I don't need the game to remember these attributes. As soon as we jump into a new fight, we will calculate new or randomize new attributes for our enemy depending on the enemy type and the map we are in. What I mean with that is that in an earlier map, the attributes of the enemy will be lower, and then we will go higher as further we go. So this, and so absolutely for at the beginning you can or how should I say, so you will see the combat with all the hit points and so on. Let's put this up here. Here we can add variables. We already have variables. What's components? Okay, let's put this in something. Yeah, so you will see there is quite some tactical aspects to the battle, and every enemy type will be a little bit different from the other ones, and you kind of have to learn what is effective and so on in combat itself. However, you really also have the option to really take your time grinding, growing your character, and then if you don't care about tactical things, then you just can force your way through it by by just creating an overpowered characters and so on. That's the option you have, depending on how you like to play. But of course, there will be some advantages to playing selection, which visibility, camera set, play position. How do I want to? I mean, there will be some advantages if you want to play tactical against just forcing your way through, and that's that you can just loot more. You can loot items, more items, if you can do tactical. With the looted items, you can craft new stuff. You can improve your weapon and so on. Other things is kind of like you can improve different attributes. If you want to force your way through, you probably will focus on just some of the attributes, and then you maybe will meet a boss that you have to beat tactical, and then you get problems and so on. So there are advantages and disadvantages for both. The disadvantage of always playing tactical is that maybe it gets kind of old, the combat takes longer and so on. How is combat set up for now? Maybe I find a different name for it later on. Yeah, like I said, today's stream probably won't be so interesting because we have to do a lot of this stuff, adding variables, so we can then create our events like we hope we do. They should work in the end. Yeah, for the enemy I will do enemy 1, similar attributes, not similar, actually exactly the same. And there is a reason for that. It may seem overcomplicated, and it's quite complicated, so let's say at least for me, the interesting part with the combat system is that there are a lot of different things that come together and may change things up quite a bit, plus reaction time, that influence the combat, that make the combat interesting. So also gives the whole thing some randomness into it. It's reaction time, not just reaction. So even if you kinda encounter the same enemy, depending on his attributes, that will be randomized, but only randomized. There will be again some kind of range depending on the enemy type. I mean, maybe you have an enemy type that is strong and heavy but slow. Then of course these attributes will be attributes like strength and so on will be in general higher than speed and other things. So it won't be completely randomized. Depending on the enemy type, there will be a range for you for the random number you get then for the attribute. Put this 100 for now. Let's give him a little bit longer. Okay. Yeah, and really label your category and everything. That will help you later on find your stuff. There are a lot more attributes and so added values added to this blueprint, so it may be pretty fast difficult to find stuff. Absolutely, if you start to change things, and so on, then it may get also extremely chaotic. So you kind of want to keep the same things together. Maybe in this blueprint it's not that important here. Maybe there will be a limited amount of variables, but definitely in the safe blueprint we will have a lot. I mean, this is just for one character, and this is just for one attack for this one character, and this is just for the combat for this one character. So you can imagine that there will be a lot more stuff coming here. Okay, speed, agility, courage, dexterity. And of course, you don't have to make it as complicated as I'm doing. With that I mean so many values that can affect the combat. So the biggest concern I have, I mean, one concern is of course, can I how do you say, can I balance the combat well with so many attributes? That's one thing. The other thing is, will the player be overwhelmed by so many attributes? But however, it's kind of like resistance. It's kind of like what can I say? The player doesn't have to learn all the attributes and what they do. It will be always explained absolutely if you want to improve some attributes. So I hope kind of with that he won't be too overwhelmed. Maybe at the beginning it seems to be a lot, but it may seem like a lot, and how should I say, the progression system it won't be built on the fact that the player has to know all the attributes and what they do, because the progression system has so many layers. The player himself can only if he wants to manually grow his character, but there are many possibilities to do it manually. It's kind of like I said, it has multiple layers. Some layers are random, some layers are automatic, and some layers are manual. But it's still, because there are so many layers, it's more tweaking or pushing the character into a certain direction than really Um, yeah, it's more tweaking the and so on. Instead, not the player has not completely freedom to grow his character. That's how I kind of want to say it. I don't know. This is maybe such a difficult word. So I will see. I will definitely listen to feedback and then see maybe it is too much what I want like now, right now. Perception. Yeah. Luck. Come on. Yeah. So it's difficult to say right now. Of course, I have kind of this idea to have all these different factors into combat because I personally think it's interesting how it translates to the game. Is of course difficult to say at this point, but that's why we do testing. And that's why I will carefully listen to feedback, and if it just doesn't work, I always can change it. Tweet. Intuitive. Yeah, with that I have to right. Let's compile this. And we also need some of the attack. E1. Do you want to categorize this? Also to mid-range though. Not really, right? Just attack. But maybe two special skills or attack. Well, we'll see. So enemy 1, attack 1, damage. No, I don't want to define this. Hit chance. This will be a float. Chance. Yeah, I was just thinking if I want to, could be interesting too. We'll give it more randomness again. and you may already see this if I find this interesting, is yeah, I probably will do that. Okay, default, this is enemy 1 attacks. To give the enemy attacks also a level. Didn't want to do that. Thank you. Why did you? To give the enemy attacks a level and kind of randomize the level. I mean, the question is, how far do I want to go? Do I want to also give him experience points so he can, in the fight in itself, kind of improve his attack by using it? It's something I have to think about. I didn't think up to this point. Critical damage. I definitely will give him a level. Yeah. Let's compile it for now. Yeah, I'm really thinking about it. It could be interesting. To give the enemy the opportunity to actually also improve in combat, like your player character can. Another thing I'm thinking about is, I said I will define the enemy strength depending on the map we are in. So we'll give him a little bit, for now, for the simulation, less damage. Less hit chance. Let's do critical, still quite same, quite high. Yeah, I said that I will, depending on the map and we are in, the enemy level or the enemy strength and attributes will change. So in earlier level you have, of course, lower, weaker enemies than later on. One moment. I will continue my thoughts in a moment. I'm back. I'm sorry, I'm back. Had to get something to drink. Yeah, so where was I? Um, so like I said, the enemy, how strong an enemy is will of course depend on the map you're in. Early maps, um, they will be weaker, of course, but maybe I will also kinda put the player's level kinda into consideration of how strong an enemy is. Should I just do it with the experience points? My problem right now is anyway with the level of an attack. Um, I don't know the function. I don't think I will. The function I used in my test game for the level. Do I remember it? How I set it up, I don't think I really remember it. I think that's something I have to prepare for another stream. But there are enough things we have to think, work on for today, so it probably won't be. Yeah, just do it. So we probably don't have to do it today. But we'll see. I think I will also create another blueprint. Sorry about that. Um, you come to the other blueprint right after I have changed everything here. Yeah. Yeah, that's something I have to look up for another stream. Or I mean, no, I can't do it in this stream. It will take too much time. Yeah, I definitely have to look it up. I don't want to just do it freely. How I can do the level up, but that remembered me that I need another blueprint. A blueprint that will be in every map we have, and that will. Does it have to be in every map? Actually, not. It only has to be in the combat. No, it has to be in every map. We want to see the statistic, the level, and so on. Yeah, but it probably will be saved. So now I will put it in every map. Anyway, it's a blueprint, an active blueprint, another one like the combat blueprint, and will this just be attack level? What else do I need in there? So the level of the attacks of your character. The attributes are fixed. Yeah, they're not fixed numbers, they're flexible numbers, but they're not depending on a function or anything like that. I don't have to calculate them like with the levels. There is no character level. The experience points for character, they're flexible. You can use them to learn new attacks or crafting new items for your character and so on. So this will be really changing on different. So as far as I know, I only need only the attack level has a fix. Has a fixed function for calculating it. So I probably call this attack level blueprint. Is there something else I'm forgetting? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. The attributes. There are some attributes that affect HP and the energy and the reaction time. So maybe I have to put this in consideration. Let's call this different. Character. So I have character progression blueprint, and I definitely have everything I need in this blueprint. I will put it in this level, and I will just also just so I won't forget, put it into the other two levels. Yeah, I think it's better than just saying it's only for that tax. It's game level test and well, no, can't find files at game level to look at. Okay. But we are in it right now. Building lightning, I can do that later. That's strange. Let's see. Go back to combat. Is there another warning? I will just do default. Yeah, I don't have a build data for this one. Okay, that was strange. Why? That's extremely strange. Anyway, combat, that's just world, map. Yeah, I'm not finished. Build that. So I'm not sure if I really need to do it. Should do these things automatically, but for some reason it didn't, and so I created one and hope now it will work. So of course I don't really remember now what I was talking about before. Event blueprints. So do I want to set? Let's open it. I'm not sure if I want to set up anything at this moment. There will be of course nothing in the viewport. Here we will do our custom events. Maybe what I want to do here is kind of have a general event, and in every map when we start the map, I'm always worried I forget to unmute myself. Yeah, you know, a general event, and everything we want to compile, or at the beginning or of a map, when we load the map, all the attribute, all the attack levels and so on, we then put everything, we chain everything together in one upper event, and every time we load a map, this upper event will play. I think that makes sense, even if we don't create the other events today. Custom event, and the same thing is then for the enemies, but we only need that in this map. So how do I want to call this? Just gonna call it character level, even if we don't have a level. Character level. I mean, even if we don't have a level, I think it kind of like we still kind of can identify it. We've leveled the strength of a character, the growth, the progression. Many ways to say it, but and then in the combat, we'll call it. Let's think about it. Where do I want to put it? Down, put it down. Will be enemy level new. Damn it. Outside of the combat map, we don't really are interested in that. Yeah. My cat came to say hello. I mean, again, outside of the combat, we don't really care about the level attributes and attacks enemy has. We only care in the combat. However, for our player characters, we kinda care also outside of combat about the states and so on. That's why I made this 2 different events on 2 different blueprints, even if it will do similar things. Now I will put them I will start this event, of course, here in the level blueprints. So the combat blueprint, we already got that. Enemy level. No, wait. No, that's okay, that's the event begin play. And the other one will be a new reference, all actors of a class. We could also call this character level blueprint. And we also will get this event. So every time we start the map, the combat map, we will load these events, and in these events we will calculate our character level, enemy level. Is that needed? I just have to think. Yeah, of course it's needed. No, it's not. It's not. Is it needed at this point? It doesn't matter really. I mean, for the enemy level for sure, but the character level, is it needed? Because that's more a dynamic thing, and then we anyway will save it. In the save file, so I don't think we have to do it at this point, to be honest. Because everything is saved in here. I mean, it's not that important. I don't think this will take too much resources. But I mean, I need this when something changes, and not when I load the map. There are no changes, so I will try to do it without it. I still can add it later on, so I also don't have to add it to the other maps. Yeah, character level, combat level, slot. So what we can do now is going to our widgets. Question is, where do I want to calculate the reaction? In the combat map. I don't need that in this widget. Yeah, so I can go now to the widgets and kinda connect the variables we made. Or we can start with the events. We will see. Component enemy point images. Character states. What's it? This was just prototype, right? Probably. What I'm not sure yet is if I want to. I mean, probably it wouldn't be a bad idea to add numbers to this, because it's probably quite difficult to say exactly how much energy you have left, how much health you have left, and so on. That's the other question. But the other question is, do I want to give? Yeah, probably want to. Yeah. For sure, for the energy, I want to give the player the exact information, how much you have left. Nor do I want to. Could be interesting. Set it up. I will, for now, work without numbers. Again, I will listen to feedback, and if I feel like the numbers are needed, I will add them. However, I can't find it interesting not to. Anyway, player 1. Okay, this is connected to player 1. That means every character in the game can be in here, so we have to make it a little bit more complicated. I will get copy here and then make an array, so we have different inputs we can give it depending on the player number. With player combat 1 number, the play combat 2 number. Don't I have just a player number overall? I mean, yes, I need that, but I need the location numbers. Oh, I just called it PC number. But I need this one. This is for player 1 here. Okay. Player get combat number 1. So depending on which character we use on this in this position for the combat, the input will change. So now I really have to think about where do I keep 0 open as nothing and say the first character starts with 1. Let's keep 0 open. Then maybe I also can use that test 0 for testing stuff. Maybe. So I probably have to change default value from 0 to 1, because at this point we don't really have a chance to change this number. 1. Also, that was also here. Let's do 1. Okay, play combat number. Then I will get Arwin's HP, Arwin's HP max. Then I need a float that divides both of them. This one. On we go, number 1. Yeah. I'm correct. So if this is 50, this is 100, we have 0.5. If we change that, we will have 100 to 50, what will make 2. So that's correct here. Then here, similar thing. You know what? I will delete this and take this and just copy paste it. So the only thing I have to do is to exchange this to variables, and this is energy and energy max. Okay, I will keep this here open. Now let's do the same for the enemy. I wonder if I have set something up here. Oh yeah, I just... I see. Okay, that means we set the... Yeah, I mean, we can do this now two ways. Do I want to do it like this? I mean, one way is I forget about these variables I put in here. I get the reference to the combat blueprint and do the same thing I did with the player states, like exactly the same things, just with the enemy variables. Or I set everything up in the combat blueprint and get in the combat blueprint a reference to these two variables we have here. What's easier, what's better? I'm thinking we have multiple enemies in different positions. So it may make sense. Yeah, probably. No, but I call it enemy 1, 2, enemy 3. Yeah, I wonder what is better. Probably both the same. Let me think about that while we do. Combat. Commands. Here reaction time. How set up here? V1 reaction time. This is in here, right? So about the enemy. Yeah, do I want? So this will be a little bit complicated, I have the feeling, because I need two references. Because we have here play one reaction time, which is flexible, and in the save slot we have our character's reaction time, which is a fixed number. It's it's like 10 seconds, and then which will set the reaction time, the starting point of the reaction time, and then in the combat blueprint the this reaction time will count down every second. I have to take a short break, sorry. Back in 1 or 2 minutes, sorry. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. So I have to think about how we set this up. What do we have here now for the default value? It's just 0. So at which point do we define this? Somewhere we have to define this. So here, day 1 reaction time 0. No, wait. We don't define the reaction time. The reaction time is of course 0 at the beginning. We define this number exactly. So let's make this right now. Let's get our. Don't have to create everything. We should. No, we don't have it here. Okay, we create it. Reference to save and load. Get copy save save get save to slot. Now we have again the same problem like we had before. Sorry, yeah, we have the same problem like before, that this variable is defined by which character we have in position 1 as player 1. So we have to make an array again so we can give him different inputs. First one is 0. Then here reaction time. This one here, and player 1 combat number we put in here. Let's change this around. So now, depending on the number, the reaction time will be set here. And I kind of have to think of, yeah, this is a base reaction time, because this is an extremely flexible number, to be honest. But we need kind of for the start we need a base number for this for the start. So maybe the start is 10. You have to wait 10 seconds for this character to be ready, and then depending on the attack you will calculate a new reaction time. Also, when we get attacked, the reaction time may change. Well, this number just keeps the same, but gets up every second. Yeah, but so we need so we save a number for the start, yeah, which will be defined by different attributes. But that also means that we need for the attack a reaction time. And what reaction time did I use here? 10 seconds. So I kind of want to use a different one. Seems kind of stupid to use more. Let's use, or is it? Do we want to use more time? Yeah, I think we can use more. I think we keep the starting time, at least for most characters, quite low. Maybe some characters will take a little bit longer. Oh, let's keep it with 10, and it's maybe a little bit long. 15 seconds, it may feel quite long. And we see if we put a lot of variables in the compiling time will take longer and longer as more as we add here. So combat, we also give this guy here. Or do we need that? Yeah. And in some event we'll then set up the override the old reaction time with what we have here. But then we have the problem that we will save it. So we'll save it. But we will calculate it, the reaction time new in the character level blueprint. I mean, not for the enemy, for the player character. So how much? I think I took a little bit more here. 15 seconds. Let's make this 18 seconds. That's probably extremely. That's probably a lot. Waiting 18 seconds. Yeah, doesn't matter right now. I will probably lower its numbers quite a bit in the future. Yeah, the problem is then, do we want to how do we want, or do we want a separate? I think we want a separate number and calculate this number somewhere in this blueprint. So we have also, so I mean, we will create the second variable here. Yeah, I think that's better. I believe that's better. don't have to delete this and waste our work. So we will create here a new variable, and this will be player1 reaction time start. Is this in here? Yeah. Combat setup. Yeah, that's okay. Then we need in this widget here here only one reference to one blueprint. To delete all this stuff here. Get combat blueprint. Get copy. Direction time divided with start time. Okay. So when see now this variable is gray, that's because I forgot to compile this blueprint here. Save it. Now you see it's blue. And then we don't need all of that in here. There's nothing. Okay, that's all we need here for now. I have to think about this, but I think we can set this up into combat blueprint, so we don't need this. Then we can also get rid of this widget. Default combat blueprint. So now what? Player reaction time. Ah, yeah, okay. Widgets, visibility, hit point. So we have to create a new event for this, for calculating the start time. Player start. Let me think. Reaction time. Widget visibility. Set command widget. Player 1 reaction time. Yes, exactly. Default. Sorry, I have to actor spawn reaction time. Yeah, okay. When we start the map, we set up the reaction time for everyone, but after an attack we only want to set up the reaction time for one character. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. I think now I know. So we'll create here a new event. Custom event. Player 1 reaction time start. I will put this event in here. Do I need an extra event? I mean, I just can put it in here. Actually, sorry, I don't need a new event. I could have kept it in here. Because after we defined the reaction time start, we anyway only loop in here. We don't go back to this one here again. However, maybe we want, if this is a flexible thing that can be influenced by different aspects, like the enemy attacks this player and will add some time to the reaction time, or maybe there is some environmental influences that could change the reaction time. So we are always flexible. So it may be interesting to loop the whole thing. I mean, most of the time it keeps the same. Yeah, I think we will loop it completely. Oh. This one here will set player start reaction time. Here, and this one here will go back here. So we are really flexible. We can really change this number all the time if we want to. So we can influence the reaction time while the reaction time constantly yeah, I want to say ticks down, but we actually add to it. We don't count down. We count to the number that the reaction time is. That the start time is. But that's just technicality in the in our programming. It's not something that changes can changes for the player. It's still kind of countdown for waiting that your character can do something. Yeah. Okay. So now I have to think about the enemy. Um, um, I have to think. There will. So this one here, the enemy level. This will set up the start and only change at some points. So we want a different event for our HP. No wait. The enemy level will define or will I just put everything in one event? Does it matter if we do this event over and over again? I think I will do an event for randomizing the main attributes, and this random event I will put in this event as the first event that will play. Yeah, but then I still always calculate. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Otherwise I will always change the random number every time we play this event. So this one here is only something we want to use once, define once, and then we will play another. Then I will have to create another event that will change during the combat. Like the HP will change, the energy will change, the reaction time will change. And maybe the level of the attacks will change. Let's create another custom event. Enemy level, enemy 1 states, because also in here we will have for every enemy we will calculate it immediately for every enemy, and here we only want to change it for one enemy. Yeah. So what I want to do is for actor. No, it's a widget. So create widget enemy 1 states, and here we get health person and energy. Well, energy. We definitely set these two things here. The rest is here. Yeah, enemy attributes, max HP, get. Divide this with a float. Copy this. Energy, of course. Get and get this one. And then do you want the reaction time in here? Probably not. I probably want a separate reaction time. Yeah, let's see. So we actually set the how, yeah, we set the reaction time on different events, so we only need the second part. Enemy one. Add custom event. Enemy one reaction time. That of course not works because we already have a variable, so let's change it slightly. Here. Now we have here enemy reaction time. Wait a moment. Oh yeah. And we need a new variable, enemy one reaction time start. we will set in here. That means this one here 15 seconds and this one here is 0. And setting the enemy reaction time start, we will do this in here and here. Now I have to look up something. Reaction time enemy level. You have to change this most definitely. Because we first have to define in the enemy level, we define the reaction time start. So how much is the reaction time when we start the combat? And then after we define that, we can go into the reaction time. So here we'll want on player 1 and now also enemy 1 reaction time will also be in here. Default combat. Let me check something. Delete this as long as we don't need it. Yeah, we load everything in here. I still have kinda. Still thinking about the character's reaction time. Because we probably change it here and then save the changes. And then we have to see that we definitely when we start the combat that this reaction time is on this variable. So do we have to we actually can at the end of the battle we probably at the end of the battle we will calculate the reaction time new because we probably have a lot of changes. Um, yeah, so I was kind of thinking far ahead. That was why I was silent and didn't do anything right now. I was already thinking about the result screen, how I want to lay out it. Sounds strange, but yeah, that happened right now. So where was I? With the enemy, reaction time, health, and so on. Yeah, so what I also need now is a new widget for the enemy's reaction time. Widget combat enemy hit points. Let's make a new folder here. New folder. No, wait. One selection. Delete. Sorry. Widgets combat enemy hit points selection. Let's rename this one here and just call it enemy. Add new folder reaction time. And now I'm thinking, do I want to show the player's reaction time? Or maybe there is something like a skill or so you can see it later. Otherwise it's hidden, the reaction time. Also, no, I always choose 1 second. You know, probably I have to make a float for the reaction time. And then maybe seconds is not enough. What I mean with not enough, I'm not sure. If I want to work with seconds, does it make sense to work with smaller numbers? So instead of 5 seconds, maybe 4.8 seconds. Does that make sense? Does it make a difference? Oh man, maybe it does. Or is second enough? But when we calculate with seconds, we kinda I'm just worried that we extremely slow down the battle time. So I kinda said already that there are options to speed up the combat and so on, to give the player these options. So do I want to see the reaction time? I think for testing I will add the reaction time for the enemy. Then I can always decide if I want this as an extra skill or something you can learn. I mean, the same thing is with the enemy's health and the enemy's energy. I really could play around a little bit with that, with kinda you have to learn the right skills to see this stuff. That's something I have to think about. But let's move on here. Commands. We'll duplicate this. A1 RT for reaction time. Enemy 1 reaction time. Put this in here. Let's open this up. Can the ready button. Want it here? Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. And here. Let's delete. Oh, that was already combat blueprint. Oops. No, wrong. Get copy. Oh. Enemy reaction. Okay, let's save everything. Sure. Enemies. No. Combat. No, combat. Enemy 1. Blueprint. Didn't I say I want to delete the rest, but I think I couldn't delete it, right? Oh, it's okay. I have similar problem. Had a similar problem here. Yeah. Okay. Viewport. We have already a lot. I think I copy the selection because we kinda need it in the same position. Reaction time. Enemy states. How did I call it? A1 RT, exactly. How? Oh, no, it's okay. See it. However, I want to have it in the back or in the front. Probably in the front. Let's just look how it. somehow not working yet. Reaction time, yeah, because I didn't put it in the loop. Oh, okay. I have some useless stuff in my reaction time. Move this compile. Yeah, I also have to think about pausing it, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal, actually. Yeah, I think I should. Felt a little bit too steep. Then we want it a little bit more. No, in this direction. This direction. What was that? Let me check this. Do I have no problem? I need this in the front, right? Probably. Wait a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where is the problem there? Probably here in the combat blueprint. Didn't we set this one here? Ten. This one here. To 10. Widget combat commands. Let's see. Somewhere I did something wrong. P1 reaction time. P1 reaction time. That's fine. Then here when I press ready. Yeah, that's fine. Visibility. That's what I wonder. Yep. That's the problem. P1 start. And here the same. Now it has to completely fill up before it's ready. So now the question is, I mean, I'm not sure if this is important right now, but when do we pause the enemies and also the other players' reaction time? As soon as we press ready, or after we select our attack, or yeah, here I have a problem with this. Anyway, so I will put this a little bit into the back, or this a little bit into the front. When do we stop? Just a little bit in front. Ah, I see. Let's also change this. I also have to change already. Attack. Now I can select it. Didn't I put this in the front now? And why are you up there? Enemy states. I never. Yeah, I have to think about that. Doesn't matter right now. Right now I wonder about this one here. Don't think I want to do it like this. I want. Yeah. I think we can delete this one here. Or do this different. Anyway. So when I pause it here, now I can select it. Yeah. Post the reaction exactly then when I press ready. I think that's what to start the best thing to do. Anyway, maybe I still have time to think about that. Okay. I mean, I can create a separate loop in here. To pause the game, that's not the big problem. let's see one thing. Event graph, but be prepared, ready. So I actually have already web blueprint. Huh? Oh no, combat player one. Oh, okay. No, combat player one. And this is ready. Combat player one. Let's take a look. No, that's the wrong one. Ready. This is everything. Huh. So what does the ready button do? Nothing in here. Okay. Ah, the ready button will do the visibility. So I can add to the ready colon if it's true, then the other times will stop. So that's quite simple then. And I don't even have to create new variables. One moment. One moment. It's not that easy. I just realized. No, it's actually no. Maybe I want to have a separate ball. Otherwise, I have to for player 1, player 2, player 3 separate. But I kind of want it for the same thing. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry that this stream is pretty boring, probably. But that's just kind of the part we are in it, because we have to set this up, and we have to set it up, if possible, right from the beginning. So there are two things I could set it up. I mean, the question is how I want to do it. Do I want to have a universal kind of pause button? What probably would be better than having it for every player? I mean, does it matter? That's the question. And the question is, does it matter for the player, the character here? And it probably doesn't. Where do we have this find reference? Player reaction time 1, and in here. But I mean, we also have the ready button here. Reaction time calculator, widget visibility. I just remembered something. Sorry. But I have to do that before I forget it. Set widget visibility. Blueprint. Okay. That's what I wanted. Hit point widget visibility. Hit point invisible. I probably that's the hit points. Hit points. Set widget. What's that then? State. Yeah. Set widget visibility. Widget visibility. Okay. Yeah, I want to do this here. For the reaction time. Come on. Okay. Okay, back to what part here. Player 1, 0. Widget visibility. Yeah, I cannot. Yeah. Pause when we jump back here. Ready, unselected. So what do I do when the enemy attacks? Also pause, of course. So then, I mean, even when I have everything set up here with ready, I kinda have the feeling to have universal pause. Is better. I mean, I just can pause it here, not. But then I have to do it at the end, unpause. Pause. It's kinda put this a little bit up. And then set should be off. Off. Pause. Then I don't even have to do it. No. I have to do it in the commands section. That's the only thing. Yeah. All actors of a class. Combat blueprint. Get a copy. Well, paused, of course. Damn it, my brain is not working anymore. Let's unpause on. Copy this here. If we unready, then pause is off and the reaction time should go up again. Let's go to combat. Okay, player reaction time. Okay, let's set this up before this here. Get branch. So if this is false, we go here, add to a second to our reaction time. If not, we wait a second and go back into our loop here, and we will do this as long as we are paused. Yes. And here for the enemy we do something similar. Just at the beginning get pause, set pause. Branch. Then pause here through here. This one jumps back here. Okay, let's see if I did everything correctly. Pause. Okay. Display. Reaction times go up. When this is filled, this one stops. Attack. Everything disappears. Attack. We wait. Now everything is moving again. Great. So now with this widget up there, so first thing, enemy player blueprint. This widget here. Let's put it also on 80 degrees. That's one thing. Combat enemy. It's not here. Enemy states. States. Okay. God damn it. So confusing. Move this here. Okay. So I have to make it here a little bit more complicated, so that's okay. So I have not visibility yet. Where is the here? Let's copy this. But instead of reaction time, enemy 1 HP and HP max. And for the energy, do the same. Compile this, save, and now everything should be full. Yeah. Ready, we pause, we can select our attack. Once we attack, until time goes on. No. What happens here? Reaction time calculator. So I also have to set this up for. When does this start? Oh, yeah. So I will, let's see, play reaction, command number 0, set command widget ready. Don't care about that. And player 1 reaction time, and then pause. Okay. And this is, yeah. So we have to create the enemy cycle. Probably not today, to be honest. Let me think. What the enemy cycle? He will, as soon as he is ready, he will automatically choose an attack. All the widgets will disappear. We will have a camera behind the enemy. Do we want? Probably have to add a new camera. The question is where. Because the enemy does not have to be a human, he can be a monster. And then when we have the camera behind and it's this big monster, we don't see anyway anything. Also, maybe we want to have a dynamic camera for that. I mean, the same as we can kind of say about the play. So we can change the position of our main camera. Or is it better to add a new camera to the enemy? Or does this not matter right now? I don't think it matters right now. What I will do is please copy paste this part here. Here and yeah. So this is for players and what? Oh, enemy or T. And instead of this, we will player position. I need also an enemy position. And then what I do here is the reaction time 0. Player enemy reaction time, this one here, that's to 0. So what I have to do somewhere is then calculate the new reaction time. Now it's just fixed. And then unpause, that's already all to do here. All this stuff I don't need here. Reaction time 0, and then we unpause. However, that's just the end. Enemy level, right? Custom, add custom event. Enemy 1 attack. So this one here, enemy 1 attack. This will probably end up in quite a complicated event, maybe even split up in different events. Because an enemy has not only one attack, there has to be kind of maybe he will prefer an attack, but he has different types of attack that, of course, he won't always attack the same way. Then there will be different conditions. You can change the enemy's attitude by doing different stuff in the combat, and then when you change the enemy's attitude, he will maybe choose a different attack and so on. So this here will be quite complicated. However, today I won't go into the attacks, and anyway we only have, for now we only simulate with one attack. So for today we have to do it simple. I think the widget visibility, this two stuff. I also have to think about when one player attacks one enemy. Do I want to, can I do that even, remove the other characters from the viewport so you don't see them? I have to think about that. And so we kinda delete, just make everything invisible. Then he attacks. That means we just simulate the attack now with a delay, like we do with the player, 5 seconds. And then enemy RT, we go here, and then we start over the next turn. So for now, extremely simple because we don't have to set up the attacks yet. And here, and we can just put this in here. Enemy attack. So let's see if that works. Oh, we have to pause. We have also to pause, of course. Let's do that first. Pause. Save. Play. So reaction time goes up slowly. I have definitely to do something about that, but not today. Ready, this one stops. We do our attack. Attack finished. We are back here. Now what happens here? Enemy attacks. Attack finished. Doesn't start again. And the problem is, of course, here. Enemy 1. Reaction time. You have to get the loop back on. There was another problem I've seen, but yeah, the positioning of the widgets is not right. I see. I can really put the green bar back on the same level, like I did with the play character. Or something else. I totally forgot about it. Okay. Enemy attacks. And we are back. Calculating, going, counting down or counting up, however you want it. What was it? What was it? Anyway, let's go in here. Do I have the player blueprint open? The player, yeah. PC combat player. Let me see. I have this so 200. Why does it feel so new? So strange, because this one here almost feels like it's on the same level. Also here, this one here. Okay, I can't look at the play character and copy it. That's clear now. Okay, states. Let's just make 90 degrees. And you, selection, reaction time. Maybe not 0, but 10. And let's just look how this looks. Yeah, now they're almost even. What do we have here? Let's put this on 90. Why does this? Yeah, okay. That's strange here. 95. Maybe it's too much now. That's the problem. 85. Hmm. Yeah. 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 Put 45 there. 70 wasn't so bad. Anyway, yeah. So now we have now our combat turn cycles for the player and for the enemy. Ready? Set up. So now next time we will set up the attacks, at least a simple version of the attacks. At least simple for now. Yeah, I mean this may take some time, so I will move this for next time. Wasn't the longest stream, but that's okay for today. Like I said, a couple of other things I have to do. So, but there are now two things we could do next time. We could start some new mesh in Blender, or we move on with this. I kind of want to move on with this. But we also have to think about Blender. And we also have Friday. Let me think about it, what I will do on Wednesday. So there are two things. Moving on from here, adding simple attacks for player and enemy, and see if the numbers change. That's one thing. Then after that we make more complicated attacks. We put in the attributes we made today, and probably see how how is the difference, and after that I will, so what do we have now? We also put the first step of our progression system into it, or the first layer, or maybe even the first two layers. Probably it will be the first layer. So we have to make some more widgets and some more information. Yeah. So now we can step by step creating the combat system here. Something else. Yeah. So in that sense, I probably will continue with that. The other thing we have to do, or not have to do, the other thing we can do is come back to Blender and start a new character or monster mesh or anything else mesh. There are two things. I could start already with my main character, however, I'm not so sure if I'm already ready for that creator, because I don't really have a concept design yet. I didn't have the time to do that. So that's a problem. Oh, so the other thing is we could start with our desert squirrel, because he will look almost like a squirrel. I will change probably a couple of things like the color of the fur, things like that. Also about the main characters, I said it before, it would be nice to practice with something else before I jump into play characters, into human characters. And like I said before, I mean, I did the worm now, but the worm is not something that has to look completely fine because it's a monster, so it's a lot easier to create an ugly creature than a creature that has to look good, or a creature that has to be cute. So I think from creating a monster, the next step would be maybe something that is cute before something that has to look really good. And I kind of have to think about, I have to find references for this squirrel. I want to have something between realistic and comics, so I have to find different references. For sure, real references, maybe even bone structure. I mean, skeleton of a squirrel, but then also find like draw someone that's more, has maybe drawn it more comic style or maybe even anime style, and then kind of find a middle ground between these two things. Because I'm not going photorealistic. Anyway, you will see it when I upload the next event. To what conclusion? I kind of want to mix it up with Blender and Unreal Engine, so I kind of want to jump into Blender, but I'm also in the middle of setting up the combat system, so I really don't like it to have something unfinished here. So I have to see. Also, it's extremely important, the combat system, so I probably will do that, and we will go as soon as we have at least the 1 versus 1 combat system somewhat something set up. I probably will stay in Unreal Engine, or at the point where I can say, yeah, we can now move to the next step. This is somewhat an end, then can jump into Blender. But anyway, I will think a little bit about this tomorrow and then set up the stream for Wednesday. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will end the stream here.